Okay, today we are going to be looking at the kind of what we call the end of term checklist, and that's always different for everybody. And Karen will kind of introduce part of the website that we have for this, but really quick, I wanted to remind you, in case you don't remember, in pipeline, under the faculty tab, if you go to class management, the majority of what we're going to be showing you right now kind of happens from here down. So you've got your place to enter final grades, the grade packet submission tool, the SLO scoring tool, and then the syllabus upload tool, kind of all right here. Positive attendance is a little bit higher, but for the majority of folks, everything you need is kind of like in order right here. But yeah, so that's what we're going to kind of cover. We're going to do an overview of all those different tasks, kind of give an order to it. But if you have questions as we go, feel free to type those in chatter. We can pause for questions as well.
Okay. So as Rob mentioned, a number of the things we're going to cover will be found within pipeline, but if you want a quick reminder of the checklist items we're going to go through off of our website, sbcc.edu, FRC, you're going to find this little checklist here. And this is a list of a number of things that we're going to be covering. And there's links with more information in here also. Okay, and so hopefully everybody's getting prepared for the end of the semester, and once you're getting ready to make the submissions to these different items, what you're going to do is go into your classes if you're using Canvas, and you're going to go to grades. Okay, and so the first thing within grades that we're going to look for is we want to verify the grades, everything's set up as you have in your syllabus. You want to look at the grade book, and this is like a fake class we use. You want to look in your grade book and look for any cells that have this little dash. And this dash basically means that a grade hasn't been entered, okay? And you want to make sure for a required assignment that if there's not a zero must be entered. So if you're not entering zeros, what's going to happen is the grades are going to be inflated, and the student won't get the true grade that they earned. So what you want to do is go to the grade book. We want to make sure the dashes are zeros. A quick way to do that is from the top cell has the name of the assignment, and we just click on the 3-dot icon. And what you could do is click on here, and you can set default grade. And of course, instead of a dash, we want this to be a 0. And then you set the default grade. It always tells us how many zeros it's entering. So in this column, it's going to put a 0 in for 13 of these students. I'll click OK, and you can see that it automatically enters the zeros. Okay. And so something else you want to do is, once this is all completed, you're sure your grade book is set up as you want, you're going to do a grade packet submission. Okay, and that is within this area Rob was telling you about. So if we signed into pipeline, we go to faculty, if we go to class management, and if I scroll down here and look for the faculty grade packet submission tool, this is what I would click on. And a lot of times it asks you to log in again. Okay, let's see if this gets through without me having to do the dual authentication, which it wants me to do. Okay, and see if it wants me to change the other one. No, I think we're in. Okay, so when you open this up, this is where you're going to be entering your Canvas gradebook for your the grade packet submission upload. And what you would do is you would select the year, 2021 it is, and then you're going to see the classes that you're teaching listed. So let me hop back to the grade book. So to get the copy of the grade book that you can use for this submission is if you go over here to view, actions. What I want to do is export this grade book. And when I click export, it's going to start downloading a CSV file. And I think you can see it down here in the lower left. And so that file can be opened in Excel. And so all you have to do is, once you've downloaded this, I can put it on my desktop so I can find it easily. Sometimes I rename it. I put my name along with the title of the class in the CRN in the title. But then you would just hop back to the grade packet submission and you would just drag and drop the CSV file, okay? And I have a cross-listed class here. I don't know if anybody has a cross-listed class, but what I do is I just drop the same CSV file in each of these, okay? Because they were cross-listed into one shell.
What if you actually drop the wrong one in?
Oh, you can delete it. You could delete it. Let me go back to a previous semester. Okay, so let's say that I had moved this one in here. When you drop it, it does this little sound, a little chime, letting you know that it's accepted. And if you want to delete something, there'll be a little delete up here, little X to get rid of it. And you just drag a new one in. Okay.
And also, Laura has a question on this too.
Yeah, Laura.
Can you choose can you select specific groups or assignments that because our classes, we have hundreds and hundreds of assignments.
Right.
So it becomes huge.
Right. So let me open up the spreadsheet to give you an idea of what this looks like. And so, and I've seen.
Well, the answer to that is no, you can't export certain ones, but it really doesn't matter.
So you have, because I usually do it manually. So you go in and then delete the columns.
Yeah, but you don't have to.
Yeah, okay. I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
It's just going to be a long spreadsheet, but the main things, of course.
Everything is, you have the same thing for times, right?
Sometimes it does that. The current and the final.
Current, final, and whatever.
So yeah, and I confirmed this a few years ago with admissions. They don't care. The only time that this is even looked at is if a student contests a grade. So if anyone ever opens this up from admissions and record, they're just going to verify that you have the letter grade in there that's the same as was submitted. Okay. So yeah, I used to spend a lot of time making this pretty, and it's not worth your time.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, and it takes a lot of time because it
takes too much time. But when you can just drag the download from Canvas in here, okay, and then you are good for that part. So let me hop back here. So
while she changes screens, I want to mention if for some reason you are modifying grades like in a paper grade book, so if you're not using Canvas as your sole grade book, if you're doing anything on paper, and that's where your final grades is, you can use an app like Adobe Scan to scan in the paper grade book and submit that as your PDF.
Yeah, that's always good. Okay, so we went into pipeline, we went to faculty and class management. And so the first thing we went over is the faculty grade packet submission. And now if you wanted to enter the grades, the official grades being entered, you're going to click on this link. And once this link opens, of course, you're going to go to the semester that we're in now. Okay, and from this drop down, you'll see all of your different classes here, and you would choose the class and you would click submit. And then you're going to get the list of students, and this is where you're going to choose their grade from the drop down. And it'll show 20 students per page. So after you have enter entered the grades for these students, make sure if you have more than 20, there'll be a little area down here that you can click to go to the next group, but you want to remember to click submit. And if you're in here for a long time, if you get called away to do something, you may find that you've lost everything you placed in here but haven't yet submitted. So you'll want to make sure that enter, submit often so you don't lose your submissions. Okay. If any in this group has positive attendance, but that too is listed here. So under positive attendance, if we click on that, we haven't heard David's voice in a long time, but if you're missing David, this is a video he made before he left about submitting positive attendance. So I don't have to enter positive attendance, so I don't have an example to show you. So what you'll want to do is review this. If you still have problems entering positive attendance, you can call us and we'll have you open it up and we'll view it via Zoom to go over the process with you. Okay. And so the other thing you want to look for is your flex hours, because we want to make sure we all get paid and have our flex hours in here. So this time we're going to go to faculty, and instead of going to class management, I believe we go to resources. Okay. And so here's enter the flex hours. And if you click on here, and mine looks a little bit different, you should open up on a dashboard. Okay, and when you come in here, I think it's still loading. Yeah, there it goes. So over here, you'll see my flex stats. And what you'll want to do is, you'll be looking at the hours up here at the top. And so what you'll want to make sure is the total hours completed. Mine's kind of backwards because I didn't have any required, but I still had 2 items I completed. So the hours on the right-hand side are going to be the same as up here. Okay, so you just want to make sure that you have all of your hours completed. And as a reminder, up here in this top area, this is the in-service sessions that you may have added, you may have attended. And so remember, this is how we add sessions. And down here, fall, spring sessions that are offered, you add sessions this way also. But once you add them, they'll be moved down here. And the day, after the session, you're able to come in here and click confirm. Okay, so if you come in and you had signed up for sessions and you don't have them all tallied up here, you want to come down here in this My Sessions area and make sure that you clicked confirmed. And also as a reminder, record an individual activity. So this is where you would, perhaps you went to a workshop, you attended something, you can come in here and record that down below, and then of course submit. And you'll have to confirm that also once they have it go through the process. Okay. And something else I wanted to mention to you, of course, after spring, at some point, I believe our cards on our dashboard, a past semester gets moved into the all courses area, but you're probably getting a number of upcoming courses. If you wanted to just clear the items on your dashboard, remember you can always come in here and you can go to courses. Let me check one other thing. Yeah, this is a new thing that they added. So in this little 3-dot icon, I can move this to unfavorite. So you unfavorite, you're not losing it, it's being put in my course. So if for some reason, let me just do it with this one, I want to move this off of my dashboard, I unfavorite. Okay, it moves it off my dashboard, clears it up, but I can always go to courses and I can always go down to all courses, and I have access to all my past courses within here. So you're not losing it, you're just taking it off your dashboard. So if you want to clean those up, you can. If you want to move things in a different order, you can also do that within your dashboard here. Okay. And does anybody have any questions about those few things?
No, but thank you for re-showing me how to get those things off the dashboard.
Yeah, because they'll stack up.
Yeah,
And
especially
if
if
you
you're
ever-
going right into summer one, right?
Yeah, I am.
Full.
But then I think I know. Thank you.
Yeah, and you can always, you can always find anything that you've had access to as a teacher or a student under all courses. Go to courses, all courses, and you'll have the list there. Okay,
Thank you so much.
sure. Okay, and we'll see what Rob has to show us, and I will stop sharing.
I'm changing the order of my notes. Since we were just in Canvas, I'm going to take you right back into Canvas. Let me see if I can get my chat to open up too. Cool. So one of the other things that you will probably want to check, well, there's two things in Canvas you'll want to do. So one is the last step on the faculty page is the syllabus upload tool. As far as I know, this is going to be an ongoing step that is now required for accreditation. I know occasionally Pamela will send out an email every once in a while from different semesters to upload our syllabi. It's just on here now, so I'm just going to show you how to do it. It's super easy. It's just like the faculty grade submission tool. If you have your syllabus in Google Docs or Word document, remember in a Google Docs, you can go to File, Download, and download it as a PDF or a Word document, and then upload that file. But if you're like me and you've put your syllabus directly in Canvas, there's no print button here. There's no export or anything like that for my entire syllabus. So when you're just viewing your syllabus in Canvas, I'm on a PC, so I'm going to hit Control P. On a Mac, would be Command P. So I'm going to Control P, which brings up the print dialog box. I hope you guys can see that. Never know what shares. And one of your options on your printer destination should be Save as PDF. And you can see my entire document is here, including my dates at the bottom. So I would just hit Save that as a PDF. I'll go ahead and do that. And then I can't do the last step actually, but I'll come back into Pipeline, go down to the syllabus upload tool. If you're not currently logged into their system, which expires pretty quickly, it'll re-prompt you as always to log back into Pipeline. Select the term. I didn't teach in the spring, so I can't go back. And then you'll see a little box here, just like the faculty packet upload tool. And then you can just drag the file from your desktop right into that square, or you can choose to upload it. Yeah, choose to browse a file and upload it from there. But I wanted just to remind you that you can print your syllabus from here as a PDF, just using the browser. The last Canvas thing, actually, there's two Canvas things I want to show you. Nope, just one.
Can I ask a question from
yeah,
right before? Can you repeat, how do you make it a PDF again?
from Canvas?
Yeah, from there, from your service.
Yep.
Just
so I'm
right click?
Nope, I'm doing Control P. If you're in a Mac, you're gonna hit Command P, which is the command for print in Chrome or in Firefox.
No, I don't have a Mac, just a regular
Yep,
PC.
so just Control P on the keyboard. Yep. And then from your destination, you should have a PDF option.
Printing and then save as PDF.
Yep. So I'm not going to choose my printer. I'm just going to choose Save as PDF. And then you're good to go.
Wonderful. And then once we save it, then we pick it up for the upload.
Yeah. So then you just go into the upload tool and just drag it over to the class.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
So let's talk about, and I know you're going to have questions here. I know you are. Someone's going to. Let's talk about, there's a couple different options here, but we're going to talk about dates and access after the semester is over. So I'm going to go to settings in my class, and I'm on the course details page. And if I scroll down, you can see I have my start date and my end date. Obviously, this is my fall class, but the settings are the same. Sometimes, for some reason, I Don't know why. They've changed this a little bit. And sometimes when you open this up the first time, you won't see the dates here at all. It'll be just nothing there. Just hit refresh in your browser. So it just refreshes the settings page, and you should get those start and end dates drop downs back. See how it's spinning there for a second? I've had it a number of times just not show up. So just give it a refresh. You want to leave this set to course. The reason for that is now I can change this to term, but we have no control over our term dates. That's all set by the campus. So always leave that set to course. And so classes end next Friday. Saturday is the end of instruction. So your course dates will probably say May 1st here. Right? Wait.
May
8th, sorry.
8th.
May 8th.
7th is Friday. It's okay.
Yeah.
I've been on Zoom all day, so that's all I'm reason.
Right. It's just life at this point. If you want students to no longer be able to access your class in any way, shape, or form after the course ends, so this would be May 8th here, you want to check this box. By checking that box, it restricts students from viewing the course after the course ends. Okay. The default is that this is unchecked, which means students can view your course into the future whenever you want to. Recently, they've changed this, so we think you can also go in this after the term is over and change this setting. So if you have an old course you want to check, you can go into a previous course and check this setting and see if it's restricted or not. If you leave this box unchecked and students have viewing access afterwards, they can view all the published content in the course. They cannot view quiz questions. They cannot view quiz answers, and they cannot interact with anything. So they can't send you messages. They can't make comments on anything. So it's locked down. They can't resubmit or do anything like that. It's viewing only. Okay. So unchecked, they can view forever. Check it. As soon as the course end date passes, it will remove access from the course completely. Okay. Good on that part? Yeah, Laura. You're muted.
How do students get access to that? From their dashboard? Where do they find, let's say, last semester's class?
Yeah, so if they want to go into last semester's class, after the term ends, it'll wipe off their dashboard. So the students will go the same place that Karen just showed you. So the students can go to courses and then all courses, and they can view their previous courses that way.
Okay, thank you.
I think if they're in list view, I'm turning off my phone. I think if they're in list view on the dashboard, they can scroll backwards in time and see stuff, but I'm not certain. This is the best way to have them access it. So if they're questioning that they don't have access to it, that's where it lives, is under this all courses. Yeah.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you said students don't have access to the activities. So you know how our classes are set with all so students only have access to, let's say, the announcements, the whatever PDF we post, but not the actual.
They can view they can view assignments. They can't view the quizzes.
Okay. So everything is set as an assignment they can view, but everything that is set as a quiz, they can't.
Right. They can see their grade, but they can't see the questions and they can't see their answers.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, because previously that was open and then students could, share quiz questions with the next semester.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question. Can
Yeah.
we open the date, the start date, like for the students to see the syllabus? I find that lots of students wants to see the syllabus before. How do we do that?
Yes, and that was actually the next thing I was going to show you. So
Okay.
any other questions before we talk about the future term? All right. Okay. I'm going to go into one of my fall classes, which I haven't set up at all yet. So here's my fall class, and we can pretend it's summer if you want. But I'm going to go down to settings. And actually, first off, if I just want to make it so students can see the syllabus and information in the class, what you're going to do, especially for summer one, you could just go ahead and publish your class now. If you publish your class and you don't change the start date, they will have access to view anything in your class that's published, but they can't submit assignments, they can't take quizzes, they can't interact with anything. So just publishing your class will allow them to see the class itself. If we go down to settings, you can see that my course start date is set to November 1st. This is a late start class. So if your class starts on May 3rd, or May 8th, you might want to open your class on May 3rd. So students could start doing things. You could publish it and not change the start date, and then they could just view things. But if you want them to actually interact, click on the calendar and change that date to May 3rd. And so then when May 3rd happens, if you published it today, they wouldn't be able to do they would view it, but they couldn't do anything until May 3rd. If you check this box, so if you publish your class and you check this box here, this prevents them from viewing your class even though it's published before the course start date. So you could publish it, but they wouldn't be able to actually see it. So this is a little confusing, a little weird, but it blocks them from actually viewing the course before the start date. So generally, for most people, you want to have that off. You might want to change your start date to like a week beforehand if you want students to start participating in a discussion or something like that. As a reminder, you can open up your class about a week ahead of time, but you can't have anything due. You can't force students to turn in any work until the actual start of class. Any questions on that? Make sense?
Well, it sometimes says, I've tried to do it before, and it says it cannot begin before the term start.
Summer's a special beast, and I don't know if the summer term doesn't open early, it won't let them have access to it, and that's set by the school. So we can't change the term dates.
And I had the same problem. I couldn't let students see anything before. I couldn't set a start date before the beginning of the term.
That's correct. So the term in this case starts, this is a fall. If you look at your term dates, notice I can't change these. Whatever the term date is, so you can only go so far ahead in time. If you have a summer class, you'll have to let me know. I know Gina has one, so maybe she can peek and let me know what it says for the term date. But you, like,
yeah,
I can't.
I'll check it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't set it ahead of time. So if they have the terms date set to May 8th, then you can't open your class early. It just won't let you. But we can't change that. All we can do is modify the course. But you can't go outside the term realms. That is true. And we'll see what Gina says about that, but I'll keep going, I think. On my email. While Gina verifies that, well, I'll let, because I know Gina wants to know about the SLS, so I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Do you want me to check it right now?
Yeah, you can wait. You can wait till later.
Okay.
Yeah, but just know, if you want to know if you're having a problem where you can't open your course when you want to, you can come into the settings in here, change the participation to term, and check your term dates, because you can't change your course dates outside the term dates. That's the biggest thing to know.
Yeah, I'll check it and email you after we get off.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So kind of the last step of the pipeline steps, right, is your SLO scoring. Grades are due this term on the 11th, I believe, and they always make it like 7 a.m. So really, they're due on the 10th, not the 11th, right? The SLO scores do not have a hard cutoff like that. So we usually just tell people to just do your SLOs the same time you do your grades. But if you need to wait until like Thursday or Friday to finish your SLO scores, that's okay. That's not a big deal. It's not going to lock you out of the system or anything.
May 12th at 7 a.m. is when grades are due.
May 12th. Okay, they moved it a day over. Yeah. So then just keep your head space in the idea that they're due on the 11th.
Okay.
Yeah, you can change the date, Chris, but I don't know that students will actually be able to access it. So you can set the date outside of the realm, but students may not be able to actually get into your class until the 17th. That's the trick there.
I actually had a question about that I was thinking of doing. I have a bunch of not a bunch. I have a handful of students that are already asking questions about details for my summer one class, and I don't have to respond to a bunch of individual emails. So I was hoping I could like just allow them to read the syllabus, or possibly just cut and paste the syllabus into an email and inbox. But I wasn't sure if they'd be able to get the inbox message yet if the course hasn't started, or if they'd be able to view the syllabus if the course hasn't started.
They can actually, and this is another setting that's in here. In the settings area, if you come down to visibility, have it set to course, turn on the customize box, and have the syllabus change that to public. And then as long as your course is published, then anyone that has the course link can view the syllabus even outside of the term dates.
So they'd be able to go to the dashboard, hit on the little tile, and go in and view the syllabus. That's all they'd be able to see, is just the syllabus?
Correct. Yeah. And actually, if you did this, I can't remember if I changed this. No, I did not change that date. So if I hit update course details on this class, and now that that's set to public on the syllabus, I don't think it shows it here. I'm going to verify that. Nope. But I can go to the syllabus page. Obviously, this is a class that doesn't have anything in there. And I can actually grab this link, and I should be able to send this to you. And one of you can feel free to verify this for me, but I will paste that in there. And you should be able, actually, the course isn't published. 1 second. Now the course is published. And you should be able to click on that link and just see the syllabus page, even though there's nothing in there.
It worked.
Does the syllabus have to be the course homepage?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't have a homepage. This is a completely empty class, so I just had to set the homepage to something.
Okay.
And the syllabus has to be in the syllabus area, not a link on the homepage.
Correct.
Right.
You could put a link if you had an outside syllabus, a document, and you can do that. But just as a reminder, so I go back into the course has to be published, but you go into settings, turn on customize under visibility, and set the syllabus to public. Then you could even put the syllabus link inside of your course details inside of pipeline as well, where students go to register.
Oh, okay.
So they can
Could you
see
use
it without
that
registering the class.
Because is there a way to link to the syllabus? Could you, like, if you want to make an assignment for syllabus? Because right now I have read the syllabus as the first thing on my modules, and you have to go over and know where the syllabus is found, which seems like it wouldn't be that hard, but I would really like to be able to click on the word syllabus in the module. Okay,
Absolutely, you can do that. Yeah. So if we go to modules, well, what you would do, it had to be a page or an assignment or something. You can't make a link just out here. But inside of any given page, if I had, read the course syllabus, which I do have here, I hit edit, and then I can just highlight whatever text or image I want to be a link to the syllabus. Go up to the link icon, but choose the down arrow. And let me just remove that so we can do it for real. Highlight this, down arrow, choose course links. And under course navigation, I can link directly to the syllabus. So then when students click on that link, it'll take them directly to the syllabus page.
It has to be in a separate assignment or a separate page.
Yes, from the modules side, yeah. I don't believe there's a way of creating a link. I might have Karen verify that, but I don't think there's a way of creating a link in here that would go to the syllabus. You could go to the syllabus page, copy the URL, and add a URL link to your module, but that link will only work for that term. So the next term you'd have to recreate that link. And that way you could have the link right inside the modules. Is that helpful?
Yeah. As helpful as that can be for the limitations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So SLO scoring. So just again, I'm going to go through the process as a reminder at our website, the sbcc.edu/FRC. And if you click on SLOs, the top links here, actually, so yeah, entering scores and reflection is it's a Google Doc, I think. Might be a PDF. It's a Google Doc, and it walks you through the steps with screenshots. And then the link right underneath that is also a video that walks through how to enter scores for previous terms. So that can be helpful as far as the process. So that's a good reference for you there. And I'm going to go. So again, still under the faculty tab under class management, click on SLO scoring. And I don't have a class this term, so we'll see. It's going to make me log in. Yay. So I'm going to walk through the process for a previous term, but it's the same really. Okay. So when you land in Illumin for the SLO scores, your default role, if you are a department chair or a course coordinator or anything like that, you will probably see that role instead of faculty. If you're only a faculty member, you should see that as a default. But if you don't see faculty here, make sure to change that role to faculty. And in the next pull down, if you teach in only one department, you will only see that one department there, and you'll be good to go with your courses once you choose the term. In my case, I teach in 2 different departments, so I want to make sure I'm choosing the correct department, and then I will choose the term. You can see that Illumin helps us by choosing the wrong term. So make sure that you're choosing the correct term that you want to enter scores for. For most of you, that will be spring 21. I don't have a class that semester, so I'm going to go back to fall 20. So when I choose a select correct term here, then I will see the courses I have access to. This class was a course that was canceled. So you can see the scorecard view is grayed out and I can't enter scores. That's normal. It won't go away. If you have a course that was canceled and there was one student in there or something, it should have been grayed out. Don't worry about it if it was a course that was canceled. If you do not see a scorecard here at all, which is typically the case for most people, click on Find Assessment. And actually, let me do that for my fall 21 class. So I would click on Find Assessment. And then you should see your assessment here. Then you just click on the box and click Add to my section. If you're teaching more than one section of the same course, you can just say Add to all my sections. If you do not see a scorecard here, just email the FRC and we will get on that for you and make that scorecard happen. So I'll just hit Add to section and yes, continue. And now the scorecard will appear. And again, this is my fall class. There's not going to be any students in there yet. So then I'm going to go back to my fall 20 class. After you've added your scorecard, you will see a number here, not a green check mark. And that's how many scores you still have left to enter. So if I click on this scorecard, you will then go through for each student and just mark the number that you want. You can see I'm in my old shell or my old class and I can still modify this. This never locks you out. You want to make sure that you have a score entered for each SLO for each student. If the student didn't do any work that would provide a score to an SLO, you can check the NA box and that will remove it. Once you've entered a score or NA for every student for each SLO, click on Save and Continue to Reflection. And that'll pop open the 3 questions. You can answer those and then hit Submit and Share. And if you hit Save Draft, it won't actually submit it. So whoever is running the CIP won't see those comments. So make sure to hit Submit and Share. When you see this screen,
yeah. You said enter score for each student. Then what did you click on?
I'll have to go back in there. Give me 1 second. It's the Save and Continue to Action, Reflection.
Reflection.
So there's a Save button and then a button that says Save and Continue to Reflection.
Save and Continue to Reflection. Okay, thank you.
You can just know Save and. Once you know Save and, that's the right one to click on.
Okay.
And then you'll get the boxes. You fill in the questions. What were the major problems your students experienced? What do you think caused them to have the difficulty? And what can possibly be done to help future students achieve success? And then this is going to be really random these past 2 semesters, right, with COVID. So I definitely put in here as a reminder. So if we're looking at this 4 years from now, right, as going back, I want to remind myself or remind whoever's looking at these comments that this is COVID time. So I would definitely mark that somehow in this. And then if you hit Submit and Share, what that just means is your department chair can see your name on a report next to the comments. If you hit Submit and Share anonymously, they don't see your name. I'm the only person who taught this course last semester, so Submit and Share anonymously does nothing because they already know it's me, right? So if a big class like English 110 or something, you could do Submit and Share anonymously and they won't see who exactly wrote those comments.
Rob, may I ask a question? You said specifically so how did you mark in your comments that it was COVID? So did you say during this period of COVID or something? So
do you not see the pop-up window? I literally just put COVID.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Just in my comments, I literally just wrote COVID.
So, okay, thank you. Perfect.
I even forgot I did that until I opened this up again. But I think that'll be helpful in future years when we're looking back on data to kind of remind ourselves, like, yeah, this might have been an oddball. This is where things started changing. So once you do that, if you'll get that link and send you back to courses. If you want to go back to courses, this is not really clear in Illumin. Just so you know, Illumin saves as you go. So if I click a 2 here and I click on this courses and I go back to the courses area, even though I didn't hit save or save and continue at the bottom, and I go back into that scorecard, the 2 saved. So this is saving as you go. So if you lose power or anything while you're doing this, or you walk away and you get logged out, it's gonna save each square as you click on it. So that's at least a nice feature in there. So after you do the reflection, you can click on return to courses. It'll take you back out, or you can click anywhere in this gray bar where it says courses, and that'll bring you back out here, and you can go into other courses if you need to then enter SLO scores. And that's kind of it for that process.
Last semester, I tried to import all my
Yeah.
SLO export, and I just could not get it to work, and I ended up having to do it. I wasted a bunch of time trying to do it the easy way, and then had to do it the long way anyways. Because when you export it from Canvas, you have like, it seems like you have redundant columns. It's just like a lot of columns. I wasn't sure exactly what kind of things needed to be changed in order to get it.
You don't need to remove any of the redundant columns if it does that. You just need to know which one needs to map. So you can, to make it easy for yourself. So usually there's a one that's blank and one that has the scores in it.
I know you need to go enter all the student ID numbers.
Yeah, that's the key
Right.
part. Is you have to go get your roster and put their K numbers in. Which, if you have a large class, which I believe you do, can be more work than putting in the number. Just clicking on the chart.
Yeah, we have 5 SLOs for all our classes. So if you have
so
a bunch of students,
I usually have 24 students, and I only teach one class a semester. So adding that many key numbers to my sheet is faster than doing the keys. So hopefully they can make that easier in the future.
Yeah, is it? I remember. Is it when it exports? I guess you can alphabetize your file in Excel, and then take out. You can cut and paste your key number column. You have to make sure
make sure that you don't have any extra students that weren't dropped or anything first.
Okay.
Yeah, then you can just copy and paste it over.
Yeah, it was really frustrating. Like it just says it didn't work, and it doesn't tell you why.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. Yeah, hopefully they can keep streamlining that, so that kind of goes away, so we don't have to do the import export. We can just bring it right over. Be really nice. Mary has a question about co-teaching. If you're co-teaching a class, by default in Illumin, the only person that's going to have access to the scorecard is the teacher of record from admissions. If you're co-teaching and you want the other person also added, so either one of you could enter scores, send an email to either myself or to me and Sarah Boggs, and we can add someone to a course for scoring.
Okay, thank you. Will you remind me, are these scores done every single term?
That is up to your department. They have to be done once every 3 years. Some departments score every year. I know a couple departments who typically score every year decided to take COVID year off, but the majority of the campus did not have SLO scores for prior years yet. So we're in year 3 of a 3-year cycle.
Thank you.
Yep.
Students don't see these, right?
No, unless you have it set up like Chris and I do, where they see it in Canvas, but they don't see it in Illumin.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Amy, thank you. You get $1 because that's my next topic. Before I move on to Amy's question, any other brief things on SLOs? And just a reminder, the whole process I just showed you, it takes longer to explain it than it is actually written out. It's one of those weird things. So on the SLO help page, this handout is really easy. So if you have others in your department who are just confused on the SLO process, send them that handout or send them that link. And it's with screenshots. It's really, the process isn't too bad. It talks about the pull down menu and all that kind of stuff. And so the last thing I want to make sure to talk to you all about is incompletes. I'm going to put this link in the chat as well. If you have any incompletes going on, and if you do, I sympathize with you. You do not have access to extend out a class past the term date. So there's basically 2 steps to the incomplete process. First, you're going to come here and you as the faculty member have to initiate this. And you go to this spcc.edu/forms, click on admissions and records, and go down to incomplete grade contract. And then you're going to email it to this address when you're done. This incomplete grade contract opens up a PDF. I'm in Chrome, so it's going to open up in the browser. I would suggest just using this to download it to your desktop and fill it out on your desktop, and save it with the student's name or your last name, or both of your last names, so it's easy to find, especially if you end up with multiple incomplete grade contracts. So you as the instructor fill out the information, and then you're going to send this PDF to admissions, again at the email address provided in the pull down menu. Once the incomplete is the email address here. Once the incomplete is approved, and sometimes an incomplete won't actually go past the term date. So it just depends on the student, right? Sometimes an incomplete's only an extra week. Sometimes it's an extra 3 months, whatever that contract is you set up with the student is. So if the student needs access to Canvas past the end of the term date, you will then email the help desk. So helpdesk at spcc.edu with the information. So your course, the semester, the CRN number, and the student's information and K number who needs to have access. And it'll be passed on to the IT people who are in charge of the Canvas administration, and they'll set up like an extra class and give you and that student access to it, because it needs to be done outside of the spring term in this case. So you fill out the form, you get it approved, then you email IT, the help desk, and they'll pass it on and get you set up. Can't help you more than that.
I'm lost for a second. So what you're saying is, once the semester ends, the students don't have access to the course anymore?
To submit assignments. So this is only for the incomplete grade contract.
Right. I just have them send them to me, but that's not what you're saying. You're saying that
you can do that if you want to. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it
Yep.
now. Okay. I hear what you're saying. Thank you so much.
But some people have like a built-in, like let's say they finished at the midterm and they have 2 exams to finish that are built-in Canvas quizzes, right? So the student needs to actually access Canvas. Yeah.
You're right. That's what I have one of those. Thank you.
Yep. So you need to do that incomplete grade contract and then contact IT, the help desk to have them set up the shell for you.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Yep. I try to avoid them whenever I can, but they happen, especially with COVID. So, and I believe that's the show. 5 minutes early. How about that?
Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions? Any last things you want to go over? And we will record this and put it up on the FRC website. So it'll be up either later today or tomorrow. So again, feel free to share it out or send people to the FRC homepage, where all those are, all the recordings from the semester. I'm not seeing any last things popping up. So I'm going to make you're all going to be my guinea pigs now. And this isn't going to record. Actually, I'm going to stop recording.